A lot of people believe that once you get older, deal with a disability, or live with chronic pain, keeping your home clean becomes nearly impossible. They think it's just one of those things you slowly stop doing because it's too hard on your body. But that doesn't have to be true. You deserve to live in a space that's clean, peaceful, and comfortable, without pushing yourself past your limits or ending up in more pain than you started with. In this video, we're going to show you 4 incredibly simple and pain-free cleaning hacks that don't just make life easier. They actually work better when you take it slow. These aren't those unrealistic tips that require expensive gadgets or hours of effort. These are smart, practical tricks that anyone can do, even on your toughest days. Whether you're dealing with fatigue, limited mobility, or just don't have the energy, these tips are designed to help you feel more in control of your space again. If you're ready to make cleaning easier on your body and better for your peace of mind, stick with us. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more real-life solutions that truly work. And we want to hear from you. What's the hardest part about keeping your home clean when you're dealing with pain or low energy? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's build a community that supports each other. Number 1, you think you have to stand and sweep, but your vacuum can do that lying down. Linda used to think that a clean house meant doing everything herself, on her feet, broom in one hand, vacuum in the other. At 70, she still had that stubborn streak that made her want to handle things the way she always had. But vacuuming the living room? It was becoming a once-a-month task instead of a daily one. Her knees didn't love it, her back had complaints, and frankly, her energy had better places to be. Then one day, her granddaughter showed up with a small box and said, "Just try it, Grandma." Inside was a little round robot that promised to vacuum for her. Linda didn't believe it for a second. The first time it turned on and rolled across the floor, Linda sat back with her coffee and watched like it was a TV show. It bumped into a chair, paused, and recalibrated like it had a brain of its own. Slowly, it started to map its way around the space. Under the table, around the plant stand, under the edges of the couch. It was quiet, polite, and shockingly determined. She kept watching, waiting for it to miss a corner or get stuck. But it didn't. It just kept going, like a little worker that didn't need breaks or instructions. After a week, Linda made a few small changes, moved a few rugs, tucked away the loose cords, and shifted a side table just an inch or two. Suddenly, the robot had free rein. It flowed through the living room like it had been trained to do it. And just like that, vacuuming disappeared from her list of things to worry about. Her carpet stayed spotless. Dust didn't have a chance. And Linda, she had her mornings back. She could sit, stretch, read the paper, and still feel like her home was being cared for. One morning, she reached into the cupboard, pulled out a box of baking soda, and mixed in a few drops of lemon essential oil. She sprinkled it lightly across the rug before the vacuum started its route. As the little machine rolled over the mixture, it lifted the scent into the air. The room smelled fresh, not like cleaner, but like something soft and bright. Her neighbor walked in later that afternoon and asked, "Did you get new carpet?" Linda just laughed and shrugged. "Nope, just upgraded my helper." There's a certain kind of smart that doesn't come from doing more. It comes from knowing when to do less. Linda doesn't feel lazy for letting a robot vacuum her floor. She feels like she finally figured something out. There's no prize for wearing yourself out. But there is peace in sitting down, sipping your coffee, and knowing your home is clean anyway. Number 2, you think dusting requires effort, but it's just a one-handed swipe away. Tom never thought dust would become such a stubborn part of his life. Back in the day, he was the kind of guy who'd tackle a full spring cleaning on a Saturday morning, music playing, windows open, wiping down every corner until the place smelled like lemons and looked like a catalog spread. But that was before arthritis settled into his fingers, turning every twist, lift, and grip into a slow, painful effort. These days, even lifting a coffee mug made him wince, and yet the dust kept falling, on the shelves, the side tables, the blinds, as if mocking him for slowing down. At first, he tried to push through it. He'd take breaks, pace himself, and pretend the ache wasn't that bad. But cleaning became a frustrating loop. He'd finish dusting one room and need a nap before starting the next. It wore him down, not just physically, but in that quiet way that makes you feel like your home's slipping out of your hands. Then one evening, while his daughter was helping him with groceries, she offhandedly mentioned a little trick she learned from a friend who cleaned houses for a living. "Nothing fancy," she said, "just a simple tool and a clever tweak." He ordered the duster that night, lightweight, flexible, with a telescoping handle that reached places he hadn't touched in months. But the real magic came when he followed his daughter's advice. A quick spray of diluted fabric softener across the microfiber head. The next morning, he gave it a try on the dusty mantle in his living room. The dust clung to the fibers immediately, like it had been waiting for permission to let go. Better still, that surface stayed clean for days afterward. Something about the softener created a barrier, kept the dust from drifting back. It changed everything. Tom tucked one duster behind the couch and another next to his nightstand. He didn't need to bend, stretch, or drag a step stool around anymore. Now he'd simply extend the handle, give a light sweep, just a lazy one-handed pass, and move on. It was easy, almost too easy, and it gave him back a sense of control that arthritis had been trying to steal. He even found a bit of rhythm in it, like he used to have during those old Saturday morning cleanups, only without the strain. Friends who stopped by started to notice. "Your place always looks so clean," they'd say, and Tom would just smile. No one saw the trick behind the scenes, and he liked it that way. The house sparkled, and so did a quiet confidence he hadn't felt in a long time. Funny, he thought, how a little spray and a bendy stick could make him feel like he had the upper hand again. Number 3, you think scrubbing the bathroom is inevitable, but time can scrub for you. Mina used to be the kind of person who kept her bathroom spotless, the kind who'd scrub grout lines with a toothbrush if it came down to it. But when her back pain flared up, bending even slightly felt like someone twisting a knife in her spine. Cleaning the tub became an impossible task. Every time she passed the bathroom door, she'd glance in and sigh, knowing what needed to be done, but feeling utterly defeated by the pain. The grime built up slowly, like time leaving fingerprints behind, and with it, her frustration grew. She hated the idea of giving in, of letting the mess win, but her body was no longer cooperating. One night, as she scrolled through her phone in bed, she stumbled across a comment on an old forum. It sounded too simple to be real. A mix of white vinegar, dish soap, and warm water, sprayed generously on every surface and left overnight. No scrubbing, no bending, just spray and walk away. Mina was skeptical. She'd tried all kinds of natural cleaning hacks before, most of which ended in more effort than they were worth. But this time, desperation nudged her to try. She filled an old spray bottle with equal parts vinegar and dish soap, added warm water, and soaked every inch of the tub, toilet, and tiles. The strong, tangy scent filled the room, but she didn't mind. It smelled like something was happening. She left it alone. That was the strange part. No elbow grease, no rubber gloves, no endless back and forth with a sponge. Just time. It sat there like a quiet experiment, bubbling and clinging overnight while Mina slept, her back finally at rest. In the morning, she stepped in with a bucket of warm water, still expecting the worst. She poured the water slowly, watching suds and scum slide off with surprising ease. The stains were gone. The corners sparkled. The tiles looked like someone else had come in and cleaned while she was dreaming. She stood there a little stunned. It had worked. Not just worked, it had done the job better than most of her previous deep cleaning sessions, without a single ache in her back. There was a quiet kind of triumph in that moment, not because of some miracle product, but because she had found a way to make time do the job her body couldn't. There was power in letting the process do what it was designed to do, using chemistry instead of effort, patience instead of pain. Now Mina keeps that spray bottle on the bathroom shelf. She doesn't dread cleaning day anymore, because there isn't one. She sprays before bed once a week, rinses in the morning, and it's done. It feels like a small rebellion against the idea that hard work always has to be hard. She found relief not just in her back, but in the discovery that sometimes the best way to clean something is to walk away and let the quiet work of time take over. Number 4, You think cleaning the kitchen is a marathon, but it's really a game of baskets. Joseph never thought his kitchen would become a battlefield, not the kind with pots flying or meals gone wrong, but a quieter war, one between exhaustion and order. After his stroke, even standing for long felt like climbing a hill. The dishes piled up faster than he could clear them. Reaching for a mug felt like a task that demanded planning. He hated how his once warm, inviting kitchen had turned into a daily source of frustration. But Joseph wasn't ready to give up the space he loved. He just needed to find a new way to move through it. It started one afternoon when he sat in the middle of his kitchen with a notebook and stared at the chaos around him. He wasn't thinking about tidiness anymore. He was thinking about survival. The effort of bending, reaching, and constantly reorganizing was draining him. So he decided to stop treating the kitchen like a room and start treating it like a puzzle. What if everything he needed lived right where he needed it to be? What if instead of chasing cleanliness, he could design it into the space itself? That's when the idea of baskets came to life. Not big ones, just enough to hold specific things. A basket for snacks, another for utensils, and one just for his morning coffee supplies. He placed them at waist level, his new easy reach zone. No more bending or stretching. Labels helped keep his mind sharp and decisions quick. Suddenly, the routine became lighter. Each item had a home, and each home made sense. He wasn't tidying up anymore. He was just returning things to their little corners, without even thinking about it. Hooks followed. He added them to cabinet doors and the side of the fridge. Not high up, but where his hand naturally rested. Disinfectant wipes dangled from one, a towel from another. After pouring coffee, he'd grab a wipe, give the counter a quick sweep, and be done in seconds. Cleaning stopped being an event. It was now something that happened in passing, almost invisible. The kitchen began to shine not because he worked harder, but because the work was built into the way things were set up. Joseph's energy didn't magically return. His body still moved slower than before, but now it wasn't fighting his space. It was flowing through it. He no longer avoided the kitchen. In fact, he found himself enjoying it again. The smell of toast, the click of a kettle, those small things became moments of peace instead of stress. His kitchen didn't just look spotless, it became effortless. And all it took was a quiet shift in how he looked at the problem, turning a place of pressure into one of ease. There's a secret about cleaning that nobody really tells you. It's not about how much energy you have or how strong your back is. It's about how you approach it. You could be sore, exhausted, or just not moving like you used to, and still find a way to keep your space clean without pushing yourself past your limit. The problem isn't you, it's the idea that cleaning has to be hard, that you have to suffer through it to get results. But what if that wasn't true? Imagine waking up one day, looking around at the clutter, and instead of feeling defeated, you feel prepared. Because you've got a plan, not just any plan, but one built around your body, your energy, and your reality. Not everyone can bend over a tub for 20 minutes or carry a bucket up the stairs. That doesn't mean you should live surrounded by mess. It just means the old ways of cleaning don't work for you anymore. And that's okay. There's a smarter way to do it. You don't need to break a sweat to clean. You need the kind of tricks that feel almost unfair in how easy they make things. Like using the right kind of tool that reaches without stretching, or a method that lets you clean without scrubbing. It's not about being lazy, it's about being clever. You start to realize that half the battle is just knowing there's a better way. And once you see how much simpler it can be, it's hard to go back. Think about it like this. Your home should work with you, not against you. Every time you try to force your body to do things it doesn't want to do, you're fighting a losing battle. But when you change your approach, when you find ways to clean that don't leave you sore or frustrated, you take back control. Suddenly, you're not overwhelmed. You're in charge, and the mess doesn't stand a chance. So here's the shift. Stop thinking you need to clean harder. Start thinking about how to clean smarter. With the right tools and the right tricks, even the tired, the hurting, and the overwhelmed can have a home that feels fresh and cared for. You don't have to do more. You just have to do it differently, and once you do, everything changes.